A very good evening, aspirants. Welcome to Daily News for Analysis of Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 29th of May 2024. Now, before getting into the news article discussion, I have an important announcement for you. It is regarding our UPSC prelims mock test for 2024 prelims. Already one test has been over, but still you have two other tests on 2nd June and 9th June. If you have not registered still now, you have a chance. You can register even today and take a test on 2nd June and 9th June. I have attached the registration link in the description. You can also scan the QR given here to register for the examination. Don't miss this opportunity. It is a free initiative. Use it to check your prelims preparedness. Along with that, Ancient and Medieval India for UPSC Prelims 2024 has been summarized by our faculty, which will be live on 30th May 2024 at 7 p.m. exactly. You can attend the class by scanning the QR given here. So with these two wonderful announcements, let us move on to list of articles today. Displayed here are the list of articles that we are going to discuss today. So without much delay, let us get into the news article discussion. Look at this question about Teesta River. 3 statements are given and you have to find which of the statements given here is or are correct. Now look at this option. Here you can see that statement 3 is present in 3 of the options. So if you could wisely eliminate or confirm statement 3 is right or wrong, you can easily arrive at the answer. Now what does the statement 3 says? It says River Teesta flows into Bay of Bengal on the border of India and Bangladesh. Is this statement is right? No, actually it changes course southwards flowing into West Bengal. Then it merges up with Brahmaputra River. After it bifurcates the city of Jalpaiguri and flows just touching Cooch Behar district at Mehlinkaj and moves to Falchori in Bangladesh. So this simply means that the river does not flow directly into the Bay of Bengal. So you can easily arrive at the answer, which is option B2 only. Now let us check the other statements as well. The first statement says the source of River Teesta is the same as that of Brahmaputra, but it flows through Sikkim. First statement is not correct. Teesta River originates from the Pahundri or the Teesta Kangse glacier and flows southwards through the Sikkim Himalayas. Here it joins the Rangpo River and forms a border between Sikkim and West Bengal up to Teesta Basa. Just before the Teesta Bridge, where the roads from Kalimpong and Darjeeling join, the river is met by its main tributary, the Rangit River. Okay, so this means that the first statement is incorrect and the second statement is correct. So whenever you see a question, first see the options. If you could definitely eliminate any one of the statement, you can easily arrive at the answer. But to eliminate that, you need to work. So here the correct answer for this particular question is option B2 only. Now moving on, look at this question about Wildlife Protection Act 1972. See, all these acts are very important. They are asking like which body or which board is formed under which of the following acts. Like this the questions are coming recent days. So here the question asks you to find in India if a species of tortoise is declared protected under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, what does it imply? See, here also just look at the option, right? Here the fourth option says both B and C stated above are correct in this context. So now look at this B option and C option. If you could eliminate B and C, you can easily arrive at the answer. Just look at the options, right? B option says it no longer exists in the wild. A few individuals are under captive protection and now it is possible to prevent its extinction. Just logically think, is this statement correct? No, right? So this statement is incorrect. Now the third option says it is endemic to a particular region of India. Giving protection is no way linked to endemic status of a particular species in a region, right? So you can easily eliminate this also. So if you could eliminate B and C, you can eliminate D also. So the correct answer here is option A. It is very obvious. It means it enjoys the same level of protection as the tiger. Okay, since this is a 2017 previous year question, this has been asked based on the act before the amendment. Very recently only this act was amended to implement the CITES agreement in India. In other words, the 2022 Amendment Act rationalized the schedule of WPA 1972. Earlier, 1972 Act had 6 schedules, that is 1 for specially protected plants, then 4 for specially protected animals and 1 for the vermin species. But after the amendment, the total number of schedule has been reduced from 6 to 4. It reduced the number of schedules for specially protected animals from 4 to 2. 2. The schedule for one main species is only replaced by a new schedule for species listed in the appendix under CITES. So as of now, there are only 4 schedules in WPA Act 1972. Okay, so have this clarity. So the correct answer for this particular question is option A. It enjoys the same level of protection as the tiger. So these previous questions discussion, let us move on to the news article discussion for today. Look at this news article. It talks about the UN membership for Palestine. So let us break down the article and understand important points from the article. As you all know, Palestine is trying to become a full member of the United Nations again. This has gained attention due to the recent conflict in Gaza. The main problem is the politics within the UN Security Council. The problem is the United States. For many years, the United States has blocked Palestine's application to UN membership. The US believes Palestine should only get full membership after making a peace deal with Israel. In 2011, the US vetoed Palestine's application in the UNSC. Since then, Palestine has been a non-member observer at the UN. In April 2024, the US vetoed Palestine's application once again, and on May 10, 2024, the UN General Assembly showed strong support for Palestine. They passed a resolution affirming Palestine's right to full membership and urged the UNSC to approve the application. So this is the issue right now. Now let us see what are all the rules to join the UN. This might be asked in UPSC prelims question. See, the UN Charter says that countries can join if they are peace-loving and agree to follow the Charter's rule. But in order to get UN membership, a country needs a recommendation from the United Nations Security Council, UNSC. Any of the 5 permanent members, P5, can block this with a veto. This often shows the bigger political tension. Moving on to India's stand regarding this, India has always supported Palestine's bid to join the UN. This is part of India's policy of fair support for all state applicants. India voted for the May 2024 UNGA resolution regarding Palestine's membership, showing its continued support. India has also supported the admission of other countries in the past as well. For example, like Pakistan in 1947 and China in 1971, even when there were conflict with these countries. You can even quote this in ethics paper. So to conclude, we can say that Palestine still faces many challenges in becoming a full UN member, mainly because of the US veto in the UNSC. Skipping the UNSC is not possible because other P5 countries like China and Russia worry this could endanger their power in the future. So we have to wait and see what will happen with the fate of the Palestine. So these are all very relevant facts that you have to remember from this particular news article. So these learned points. Now let us move on to the next news article. Look at this image that portrays a pair of lowest monkeys. These monkeys live in Africa. They are native to Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Burundi and Uganda. And this pair of monkey that has been shown in the image is from Uganda. Currently it is placed in Indira Gandhi Zoological Park in Visakhapatnam. They have been placed there as a part of an international conservation and breeding program that aim to ensure the survival of this particular species. Even though they have been kept there for conservation, many visitors have been attracted by it, and that is why the image is named as crowd pullers. This is the crux of the news article given here. So in this context, let us revise some of the basics about monkey from the prelims perspective. We don't know, every year UPSC asks either monkey or elephant or any other animal. That is why we are making this effort. Know that monkey is also known as simian, that is, they live all over the world. More than 250 species of monkeys populate Africa, Central America, South America and Asia, and they are divided into 2 categories: Old World monkeys and New World monkeys. Old World monkeys are native to Africa and Asia, while New World monkeys are indigenous to the Americas, but their homes are not the only way in which they are different. Also know that monkeys tend to walk on all 4 limbs. Okay, as a member of the primate family, they are considered a lesser ape. Most monkeys have a tail, though not all do. Okay, usually New World monkeys possess prehensile tails, meaning they can use their tails to grasp or hold on to objects. On the other hand, Old World monkeys all have tails, but they lack the ability to grasp objects. Okay, now let us quickly go through the conservation status of monkeys. We'll see only the important one. Firstly, Western chimpanzee, they are critically endangered. then rollaway monkey, they are critically endangered. Then lion-tailed macaque, it is endangered. Then Diana monkey, they are endangered. Then long-tailed macaque, they are endangered. Then geese golden langur, they are endangered. Okay, mostly the langur and macaque, it means a monkey. Remember, most of the monkeys are not nocturnal, they are diurnal, meaning they are active during the day and rest at night. Okay, but there is a particular species called night monkey, they are also known as owl monkey. Only this particular species is nocturnal. Nocturnal is nothing but the organism that are active during the night and rest or sleep during the day. Okay, so with this basic understanding, let us see about the monkey fever as well. See, monkey fever is scientifically known as Kyasanur Forest disease or KFD. It is a viral infection transmitted through ticks. It originated in India's Kyasanur Forest in 1957. The disease has spread to regions like Maharashtra, Goa and Kerala. While monkeys are the primary victims, humans can also contact the virus through contact with infected ticks. Okay, monkey fever exhibits a range of symptoms, making early diagnosis challenging. Initial signs include fever, headache, muscle soreness and fatigue, resembling other illnesses like dengue and chikungunya. Okay, laboratory tests for diagnosis include virus isolation, RT-PCR, enzyme-linked immunosorbent array or the ELISA test for detecting specific IgM antibodies. Also, vaccination like aformalin inactivated KFD vaccine is available and is administered to the people living in endemic areas. So these are all very relevant facts that you have to remember about monkey, very important. So these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Look at this previous mains question. Let me read out the question for you. Examine the linkages between the 19th century's Indian Renaissance and the emergence of national identity. See, this question can be asked in GS paper 1 in Indian freedom struggle. Now let us see how to approach this particular question. Since the question is about Indian Renaissance, you can talk about it in the introduction part about Indian Renaissance and its significance. Then in the main body, you can discuss each major aspects like spread of Western education and many other aspects like that, and you can give clear explanation how each aspect contributed to the emergence of national identity. And in the conclusion part, you can summarize the overall impact of Indian Renaissance on India's national identity. So this is how we are going to address this particular question. So in the introduction part, you can write that the Indian Renaissance refers to the socio-cultural, religious and intellectual awakening that takes place in India during the 19th century. Similar to the saying, a phoenix rising from the ashes, this period has brought about a revival of Indian culture, tradition, knowledge system and also become crucial in shaping the national identity. So you can write these points in the introduction part. Now moving on to the main body of the answer. Here you can write some of the key points that show the linkages between the Indian Renaissance and the emergence of national identity. Here in the first side heading, you can write about the spread of Western education. So the introduction of Western education and English played a significant role in the discovery of ancient Indian text, history and philosophies. This rekindled pride in Indian cultural heritage and helped shape a distinct Indian identity. For example, the works of Veda Vyasa were published and the Asiatic Society was founded to promote the study of Asian cultures. Then the educated Indians began to form an intellectual class that questioned colonial rule and promoted the idea of a united India. In the second side heading, you can write about social reforms. See, social reform movements aimed at eradicating practices like sati, that is the burning of widows, then child marriage and caste discrimination. This fostered a sense of humanism and patriotism. Reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Rai fought against sati and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar campaigned against child marriage. These efforts not only improved social condition but also contributed to a growing sense of national unity. The fight against caste discrimination by reformers encouraged the idea of equality, which is a cornerstone of national identity. Third is religious reforms. See, religious reformers reinterpreted Hinduism to emphasize Vedantic monotheism, which promoted harmony and unity among different religious communities. Figures like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Swami Swami Vivekananda played pivotal role in this. Their teachings nurtured a sense of religious unity and fostered nationalistic feelings. Then by advocating for a more inclusive and universal approach to religion, these reforms helped to create a sense of belonging among Indians of diverse faiths. Fourth is cultural renaissance. The promotion of regional languages, art forms and music boosted cultural pride and unity. For example, Kalighat paintings and Bangla literature by writers like Bankim Chandra Chatterjee fostered a sense of cultural revival. The literature of this period often reflected themes of nationalism and pride in Indian heritage, further solidifying the idea of a national identity. So you can write these points in the main body of the answer and substantiate it with a sub-point. Now finally, moving on to the conclusion part, here you can write that the Indian Renaissance of the 19th century not only awakened a nation but also forged a collective identity that would feel the drive for independence. As Swami Vivekananda once said, "Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached." This period transformed India's cultural revival into a powerful force of unity and renaissance, paving the way for nationals' eventual freedom. So this is how you have to approach this particular question. So in this mains question discussion, we saw in detail about the overall impact of the Indian Renaissance on India's national identity. So with these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Take a look at this article. According to the article, India has offered $1 million to Papua New Guinea to address the disaster caused by floods and landslips to showcase India's solidarity to its partner of Forum of Indo-Pacific Island Cooperation. This is the crux of the article given here. So let us revise about Forum of Indo-Pacific Island Cooperation from the prelims perspective. Remember, Forum for Indo-Pacific Island Cooperation, FIPIC, is a multinational grouping developed in 2014 for cooperation between the Republic of India and 14 Pacific Islands nations, which include Cook Islands, Fiji, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, Niue, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Palau, and many other like Papua New Guinea, Tonga, Tuvalu and Vanuatu. Okay, all heads of state or heads of government of the above countries met in Suva, which is in Fiji, in November 2014 for the first time, where the annual summit was conceptualized. The FIPIC initiative marks a serious effort to expand India's engagement in the Pacific region. A major part of India's engagement with this region is through development assistance under South-South cooperation, mainly in captive building. A captive building is nothing but training, scholarship, grant and aid and loan assistance, and they provide community development projects. In 2015, FIPIC Trade Office at Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI, was announced to promote trade and investment opportunity between India and Pacific Island countries. So what are all the objectives of India-Pacific cooperation? See, firstly, this particular forum helps in providing necessary information to India and other Pacific nations of the world. Then it deals with various prospects of the trade and investment plan of the Pacific nations. Apart from this, it helps in organizing various meetings with the concerned authorities and the business people from both sides. It organizes the initiative of these meetings that involve the consent of India as well as Pacific nations. Then various matchmaking services are organized by the forum. It is done in both online and offline modes. Then FIPIC also conducts various trade fairs and events for the Pacific nations of the world. So these are all very relevant facts that you have to remember about FIPIC. So with this, let us move on to the next part of news article discussion, which is the preliminary practice question discussion. Look at this question. It is a disease endemic to a southern state of India. Hard ticks or its reservoirs. Cattle are the important host for adult ticks, but they also produce neutralizing antibodies against the disease-causing virus. Which of the following disease is described above? See, here the correct answer is option A. Kyasanur Forest disease is the correct answer. So displayed here is the main practice question for you today. You can go through the question and try to answer it in the comment section. So with this, we came to the end of the news article discussion. If you like the video, hit like, do comment, and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Now thank you so much for listening.